You've been telling us go into the body, and only after you said the last 2 years that I've been thinking about it. Now it's happening a lot. But my personal problem is, there is a sense of fear overall. I mean, if I look at it, that's it. That's my basic root cause.
Yeah.
And then when I come to a satsang, or when I'm living with people in a family or somewhere, suddenly there is a sprout of fear. And you say you catch it from a satsang or from a group of people. How do I know that it is mine or somebody? Because already I have my own problems. Then on to it, another thing comes and attaches. And if I don't know how to decipher that formula, and I keep fighting with it, I'm adding on to my original sense of fear. How do I delineate the my negativity with something which can come from a society or from the workplace or from the family? And then disconnect, and then okay, I'm cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry so much. I would just do the technique on the technique of just allowing the fear to be there.
Just be with it at the base level. Yeah. That's the technique of advice.
Yeah. And then your body might begin to notice things like when I go towards this person, more fear arises. So, like the fire, it will begin to move away from things which are scalding it.
So allow the body to take over.
Yeah, and the body is everything. There is no difference. It's God.
And another personal problem I'm facing is that with non-duality really sinking in, hook, line and sinker, the positive side is, the personality is getting lightened. That I'm feeling it the last 4 years after knowing you, and especially in the last 2 years. The personality is getting lightened. And the inner, the skeletons in the cupboards are going out. I'm just giving a picturization. But that which remains makes a lot of noise, clangle. You understand? Yeah. Even a small drop, really shakes me out. I mean, it stresses me out. Somebody at a close level, if they even slightly do something not okay, it disturbs my sense of being, which was not there earlier. Overall, yes, it's becoming more spacious. I'm able to handle everything at the different level, but small things also keep shaking me, and that adds to my stress on a day-to-day basis. Small things.
Yeah.
How do I get over it at the personal level?
The personal level is just becoming aware of it. You most probably had it before, but you were cut off from it. So when it happened, you just went into your thoughts.
No, I just finished this up. Now, non-duality sinking in, I know that you are beyond a state of hope or hopelessness. This is what Osho used to say, that only then yoga arises in you. I know nothing in the world can help me. Guru, it has to happen to me.
Yeah.
That produces a sense of total desperation, or oh my God, that's it. There's nothing there's no helpline for me to climb up, and that the I part of me, the Ilango, which was so strong 20 years ago, that's becoming slowly diluted, but that part of me is like revolting and it's scared to death.
Yeah.
What do I do about
No, I think that's really beautiful, because what's happening is that you're not looking for help outside anymore.
Yeah. And then knowing that this body and mind has to take care of itself in its own ways, like the fear element is like, it gets magnified.
Yeah.
You're alone, all alone in this universe against the infinite, powerful universe, and that has to, you are a slave to this universe.
Yeah, so that's a personality structure thought. Just see it for what it is. It's a personality structure thought that you've been taught, and it's not true.
It's like the survival instinct.
Yeah, and you'll feel it in your belly, and it will shoot upwards. Yeah.
How do you get over it?
You just allow it to be there, and then at the right time you can just know you are looked after, because you're everything. Who you are isn't the limitation. You're everything, and that is your safety. Is what's always here. Your safety has never been found in the personality structure. It's never been found in what you do, what you don't do, a behavior, a feeling. It's here in what you are. So it's like what's happening now is like before Alango was going and say this is the past and this is the future, and now it's like this.
But it's powerful.
Yeah. But it's right here in the vertical.
And a lot of people talk about enlightenment now. Earlier I told you it was like angels flying, and there's a lot of Mozart, Beethoven music, and like Osho, then enlightenment happens and you're really stoned out or blissed out. Now those states are okay, fine. But now my thing is, this is an animal. One day it's going to die. This mind is going to die. I'm not concerned about the death, because I'm not going to exist after the death.
Yeah.
As long as I am alive, I don't want to be dependent on anybody else, and just go with it. And that part of it disturbs me, the health part of it.
Yeah. So you don't want to be dependent on someone else. That's a personality structure.
Correct.
So there is a part in your personality that doesn't want to be dependent on other
Actually,
people.
I did want to be dependent, but like my relationships have been like very bad. My wife is coming tomorrow and day after, so I can't say this maybe tomorrow and day after. She's staying.
Remember, it's being recorded.
That's okay. She doesn't listen to YouTube. That's okay. My relationships have been a problem. So I really wanted to have romance and love, blah, blah, blah. But then it's gone on the negative side. So I thought now the best thing is just be alone. But then there's a stress on being alone.
Yeah, no, that's a personality structure thing. You're believing that the truth is that you will be safer alone on the personality structure. That is a lie. What is it that you really want below that? You want to be integrated and loved by other humans on the human level, and you're allowed that. So
It's
see,
not
that's
happening,
a personality. No, it's not happening because you believe that. So what your belief is on the personality structure is that other people aren't reliable.
No. I'm not blaming. I'm blaming myself. Thrice I've tried and
it doesn't work.
it does not work. So
the information
it may work the fourth, or it may never work.
So you acknowledge that. You acknowledge that feeling into you.
I'm not blaming anybody.
Yeah, not blame. That's okay. So you acknowledge that feeling, and then what is it that you want?
As long as I'm alive to be healthy, and if I get the enlightenment and this app goes away like Bali, fine. Or just as a normal human being, play it out. Cool.
Yeah, but on this personality part where you're saying that other humans aren't reliable, you've tried it twice and it doesn't work. Below that, 3 times. below that. What do you want?
Huh?
Do you want it to really work? Is there a little part of
I've
you?
always wanted it to work.
Okay. You're allowed that. Just allow that on the human level. Trust that it will work on the human level if that's what you want. Allow that vibration of goodness to take over on the human level, and it will come. That's it. You're allowed to trust on the human level. You're allowed to trust what you love and what you want. You will not find freedom in that. Freedom is your essence. That's the difference. But you're allowed to get what you want. And getting what you want without seeking is really beautiful. It's like love. To feel empowered, to feel balanced, to feel loved and supported by your community is really super beautiful. So yesterday, when I mentioned about Europe, me and were talking about this. So everybody laughed when I said that I liked Europe. And I do. I do like Europe. I love where I live. I feel so blessed where I live. Like, I'm so lucky. I have water from my tap. I have a house that I live in. It's beautiful, the countryside. I feel safe to walk around the village by myself as a woman with my dog when it's dark. I do have my little pepper spray, but apart from that, I feel very safe. I can swim in the river. I have relatively good weather. It doesn't snow. It gets quite hot, but not so hot. It's like good weather. It's clean. There's not rubbish everywhere. Like, I'm so blessed in my daily living. And when I walk around the streets, and when I wake up in the morning, I think, woohoo! This is wonderful. This is really wonderful. Like, I walk out and there's trees and there's nature and there's birds singing. There are so many blessings. I have a car. I don't even have to go and walk to the shops and get my shopping and walk back. I have a car. I can put my shopping in the car and then I drive back. I'm constantly loving my environment. And this is a balanced personality structure to me. When I was a teenager, I hated Europe. I hated my environment. I hated the pollution. I hated da-da. And so what did I get? I got more of that and more of that and more of that. In my hatred, I attracted more and more hatred. In my love, I just attract love. I walk around and I'm like, bonjour, bonjour, and everyone's like, bonjour. I didn't even notice if someone's being rude to me.
How did that change happen from teen to presently?
It just sort of happened, you know. I got into this subject and I realised that my hatred wasn't doing well, so my body, began to get reconditioned from that. And it just got more and more positive. And you're allowed what you want. We're allowed what we want. We're allowed to feel safe. We're allowed to feel happy. We're allowed all these things. However, and this is the trick, your freedom is not found in that, because eventually all of that will disintegrate. The trees will die, the nature will change, the house will change, and they don't own anything. You can't stick your flag in and go, this is my safety. Your home is this moment. But in the flow, in the character, in the thoughts, you're allowed to walk around and be like, wow, I live in a fucking awesome society. I am so lucky in my society. I am allowed to work, I'm allowed to have food, I'm allowed all these things. Everything I want, I'm allowed in my society. And I'm not talking like I'm super rich. I'm in the top 5% of our society, but I'm not talking that I've got loads of wealth, that I wake up and I'm in my marble bathroom, like, I'm not talking like that. I'm just like simple, like I don't need grandeur, but simpleness. That's beautiful, that you're allowed all these things. And then my feeling towards people is generally well-being, so then they respond to me with well-being. Even though I'm an immigrant, I can't speak French, I try my best to speak to them in French, I genuinely feel everybody is very kind to me. Everyone says the French are terrible to you if you can't speak French. I actually find they're very polite to me. They might be like that behind my back, but energetically they're so sweet to me. I feel supported. I know people in the bank. Like I went to the post office, I couldn't fill in a form and she sat down with me and helped me fill it out in French. Like there's so many blessings.
Lisa, 2 years ago you said this romantic love I have been behind throughout my life was always the love inside you and just be there.
Yeah, it's because you seek for your freedom in romantic love and you won't find it. You'll be sorely disappointed because freedom is your essence.
So you mean Romeo and Juliet was looking out for freedom?
They were looking for freedom in love. They were looking for freedom in their love interaction. You'll never find it. You'll come to war if you look for freedom from somebody because you can't find it in a somebody. Freedom is your essence.
So
they change, and your love for them is going to change. And it will be there and maybe not be there, and maybe they'll be annoying one moment, and the next moment you're like, wow, you're so amazing. Like, and then they spill your dinner all over you, you're like, oh. Like, oh. Yes?
So does your personality structure think it is real?
No.
Okay.
It just thinks when it thinks. It just is like thinking this, thinking that. Doesn't think it's unreal either.
Right.
That would be a strange personality structure. I'm a personality structure, but I am unreal. That would be a pain in the arse personality structure.